I think we're asking the wrong question. Or at least, one day that's what I realize. Whenever I feel lost myself, I tend to think so much about my future. Asking myself questions like, what's the next defining career for me? Where do I see myself 5 to 10 years from now? Just piling up loads of questions, plans, and goals that it almost feels like there's this growing distance between me and some invisible finish line. That it keeps moving farther and farther away. Like the more I try to find those answers, the more I make it easy for anxiety to creep in. But once anxiety got me, boom, there goes the self-doubt and fear. Then all of a sudden, moving forward becomes so difficult, becomes so hard, that I eventually end up getting stuck. Just because what? Just because I constantly overthink where I am supposed to end up. Or sometimes catastrophizing the what ifs. What if I might end up being only a potential? What if I don't become who I wanted to be? What if I'm wrong and they are right? But thankfully, I'm glad that one day, somehow, something shifted. Or at least that's what I thought after I watched a film. But for other people, what does it feel like to be really lost? Or what does it look like when we're searching for something in our lives? These are some of the questions that Postman Blues explores throughout its 3 protagonists. That it raises another question, or rather, a different outlook. What if being lost doesn't look the same for everybody? What if, for some, they just eat, sleep, go to work, then repeat. Day after day, week after week, year after year. A monotonous life depicted in the story of Sawaki, a mailman in his early 30s.
楽しいか郵便屋。
いや、でも仕事だから。
Aware and tired of his boring and empty routinary life, yet Sawaki doesn't seem to believe that things can be different, that there's more to life. For he has nothing to seek, nothing to chase or pursue, lacking direction, lacking ambitions, drifting, but no island to discover. Just existing. Which is something many people can probably relate to. Especially those who feel like they are moving forward, but deep down in the inner core of their being, they don't really know what they are doing. And for the most part, they are not entirely sure where they are going.
ガキの頃みてえに胸がドキドキすることあるか。
ただのヤクザもんじゃねえかよ。
But what if you know where you want to go? What if you know your destination? That's the kind of life that Noguchi is leading. Sawaki's former schoolmate, now a small-time yakuza.
沢木です。
沢木？誰やそれ？
But unlike Sawaki, Noguchi has ambition and holds a sense of purpose in life.
見ててくれよ、ケンさん。
He possesses this never-look-back attitude, because all that matters to him now is his calling.
俺は名前を残すぜ。裏街道にな。
Yet, ironically, the thing that kept him going is also the thing that slows him down. As Noguchi's struggling, sustaining the momentum of the path he carved, and by trying to live up to the image and identity he created for himself.
本当にちゃんと詰めました。
I kind of see myself in Noguchi, as there's some aspects of his character that I personally could relate and resonate with, especially with how he sees value on having a place in the world and having a defying yet meaningful life. But also with this character, I realized something, that when it comes to purpose, finding it can be quite easy. But I think maintaining it is quite a bit much harder. But harder as that may seem, it could be much harder when you build your whole life around your calling, your purpose. Then one day, life suddenly takes it away from you and was like, time's up. That's exactly what happened to Joe.
殺し屋か。本当にいるんだ。
But life, unpredictable as it can be, Joe's world turns upside down.
どこが悪いんですか？
細胞。
細胞。
そう。俺の体の中に殺し屋が現れた。
がん細胞ってやつさ。
Joe has been carrying a quiet and unspoken fear, not just mainly from a deadly disease, but also while
いや、オーディションの結果待ちなんだ。
オーディション。
全国殺し屋選手権大会。
But while waiting, deep down his core, he doesn't have it anymore. That he simply has to deal with the fact that he must let go of that one thing he has greatness for. So while Sawaki have no direction, and Noguchi struggle with his calling, Joe shows us what it's like losing your purpose that once defined your life. Like many going through a midlife crisis, dealing with uncertainty, grief, and anxiety, Joe doesn't know what to do anymore. He doesn't know where to go. For all that he knows now is there isn't much time left for him, and that he doesn't have any option or choice left but to simply just let go and accept. Hence why I think we're asking the wrong question. Maybe instead of asking ourselves, what am I supposed to become? Where do I see myself 10 years from now? What's my one true purpose? Instead of planning huge steps, chasing vague answers, rather I think we should ask ourselves, what should you do now? What should you do for now? Because perhaps we should prioritize and focus more being on the present. Like, what can you do at least for today? How can you embrace your life while you feel lost right now? Sawaki, Noguchi, and Joe made me realize that age, status, timelines, they don't matter at some point. They made me realize that we will always be lost. And if humans are meant to be lost, if humans are meant to be always lost, then getting lost is not something that should be solved once and for all. Or rather, something we should be solving and treating it like a problem. So if getting lost is a part of being alive and being a human, then screw the invisible finish line. Because I would be glad to feel lost again and again and again. So, between Sawaki, Noguchi, or Joe, who do you see yourself the most? Let me know in the comments section below. Have a good day.